The grand lecture chamber of the Galactic Institute rose across 3 towering tiers, designed to host intelligent beings from 47 separate star systems. Professor Zythar, a respected Valoran academic whose translucent wings shimmered beneath artificial lights, motioned toward the floating holographic diagram using 3 of his 6 articulated limbs. And here, he announced calmly in the universal trade tongue, we encounter the primary evolutionary limitation. No sentient species can arise on a planet with gravitational force exceeding 0.7 standard units. The energy demands of locomotion, the skeletal stress, and the strain placed on circulatory systems render advanced life impossible. At the back of the hall sat Alice Martinez, her worn leather jacket sharply contrasting with the glowing robes and plated exoskeletons worn by her classmates. She lifted her hand. Professor Zythar's main eyes rotated toward her. Yes, human Alice. Sir, she said evenly, Earth has 1 g of gravity. That's the standard value. We literally defined the measurement. A wave of unease passed through the room. The Chronovian beside Alice shifted uncomfortably. Across the aisle, the Mentory Collective dimmed their glow. Zythar's wings stiffened, a subtle sign of irritation Alice had learned to recognize. Ah, yes, the professor replied. Humanity is considered an anomaly. A statistical exception. Your species should not exist, and certainly should not have reached interstellar capability. Alice leaned back, folding her arms. But we do exist. So maybe the theory needs revision. The theory, Zythar replied patiently, is based on 10,000 years of xenobiological research throughout the known galaxy. A single exception does not invalidate. We're not just surviving, Alice interrupted, rising to her feet. Several nearby students recoiled at the sudden movement. We're thriving. We build cities that scrape the clouds on a world you say shouldn't support life. We play sports for recreation that would cripple most species here. Human children do what you call impossible before they're 10 years old. A few rows ahead, Quinn Park, another human student, turned around with a grin. She's not wrong, Professor. I went jogging this morning on the station's 0.4 g track. Barely felt like exercise. Professor Zythar's wings fluttered sharply. Your species possesses abnormally dense bones, excessive muscle development, and a cardiovascular system functioning under constant strain. You are built like biological siege machines, not refined thinkers. So intelligence requires fragility? Alice asked coolly. It requires efficiency, Zythar countered. The Valoran people mastered quantum computation while your ancestors still lived in trees. We did so because our evolution was not squandered on bodies capable of shattering stone with bare limbs. Except, Quinn cut in, standing as well, when the Arcturus 6 colony suffered a habitat failure and gravity spiked to 0.9 g for 6 hours, who was still moving around making repairs while everyone else was pinned down. Silence followed. The professor did not respond. Alice continued, confidence growing. You know what I think, Professor. The galaxy got comfortable. You all evolved on gentle worlds with forgiving physics, then built your theories around that softness. When humans showed up, your models stopped working. Ridiculous, Zythar snapped, wings fully extended in a display of authority. Humanity is a cosmic fluke. An accident. In evolutionary terms, you are infants. Your species will burn itself out within a few thousand years, just as the precursors did. The precursors? Alice said quietly. The ones who supposedly vanished. She paused. Has anyone ever confirmed what gravity their homeworld had? The chamber fell completely silent. Even the faint hum of translation devices seemed to fade. The precursor world was destroyed, Zythar said stiffly, before modern archaeology could analyze it. 1 point, Quinn replied, pulling data onto his handheld display. I wrote a paper on it last term. The surviving precursor installations all show reinforcement patterns consistent with high-gravity engineering. Their doors could withstand pressures equal to sea level on a heavy world. Their furniture could support loads that would crush most modern species. Alice descended the steps toward the front, her footsteps echoing. What if they didn't disappear, Professor? What if they retreated to worlds the rest of the galaxy deemed unlivable? What if humanity isn't an anomaly at all, but proof that something was rediscovered? This is conjecture, Zythar protested, though the certainty had drained from his voice. So is the claim that we shouldn't exist, Alice replied. The difference is that I'm standing here. She gestured toward the holographic chart displaying the supposed evolutionary limit. You've spent 10,000 years studying life that grew in safe environments, building rules around species raised in comfort. But evolution doesn't care about comfort. It only cares about survival. Quinn joined her at the front. And nothing teaches survival better than a planet that tries to crush you every day of your life. Professor Zythar slowly folded his wings. When he spoke again, his tone had softened. You are suggesting that high-gravity worlds do not produce weaker life, but stronger. That the energy cost for existence creates beings capable of what? Not everything, Alice said calmly. But more than you believed possible. Maybe enough to change what this galaxy thinks is achievable. The professor stared at the hologram for a long moment, then dismissed it with a flick of his limb. Class dismissed. I have research to reconsider. As students filed out, Zythar called after them. Alice Martinez. Quinn Park. Your final papers will focus on evolutionary advantages in high-gravity environments. Real data. Not speculation. Alice smiled. Yes, Professor. Outside the hall, Quinn bumped fists with her. Think we just rewrote xenobiology? No, Alice replied, slinging her pack over her shoulder as passing students stared. We just reminded them that survival isn't about obeying rules. It's about refusing to quit, Quinn added. Alice nodded. Very human. Exactly.